Okay, student, welcome back. In this session, in the last session, we had started with the network securities. So let us continue with that. In this session, let us talk about the types of attacks that you can expect. So the networks are subject to attacks from various sources. It can be from there can be two categories of attacks. That is, one is your passive attack. That is when a network into the data is traveling through the network and someone hacks through the system. That is your passive network and attack. And the other is your active attack. That is, they give a command to the external or whoever is going to have. They're going to give a command so that the network's operation, the entire operation, the normal operation will be disrupted. That is your attack. Now coming to your types of attacks, as we said, passive attacks means it may be your tapping, that we call it as a wire type tapping, physical damage to the system. All such things comes under your passive attack. Passive attack. Active attack means like buffer overflow. You're increasing, you're intentionally harming heap overflow. I think you already know what do you mean by buffer and heap means where the storage areas, extra spaces, whatever you have, data, what space you have, you are storing in one place. If you want an extra space, you can go and get it from there, right? That is your heap. Buffer means in between your processor, like in your keyboard has got a buffer, printer has got a buffer. That's a temporary storage areas. And also active is your cyber attacks, and it can be a virus attack also. All this comes under your attack. Now then, how are you going to protect your system from these passive attacks or active attacks? So what are the protection methods that you are going to follow? So the first way is of the authorization. Now it's very important to provide the network access to only authorized persons, that is who belongs to an organization, to a company, because the network contains data and applications of that organization, so we cannot give that data to anybody else. So only to the authorized person, because unauthorized person who is not related to that company, they may damage the network or tamper, make some changes to the network that may cause you problems. So authorization is necessary. Only the person, now for example in the college, the office, if you cannot, no one cannot go to the office except the office personnel, because if anybody else goes, they can make changes to the data that is there in that, which may harm the company, organization, or the college, right? So only authorized person can enter, nobody else can enter. That is authorization. And that is, next is your authentication. Authentication means if you are telling, if you are saying that you are some person, you are giving a name, then you have to be that person. We say now authentication means they need the proof as to say who you are. If you are saying you are one particular person, where is the proof to say that you are that particular person? That is your photo ID, Aadhaar cards, PAN cards, right? That's a proof from the government that you have. So that is if you are the original person or not. So that's what you mean by your authentication. This will check, this process checks the user to see if he or she is the proper person. It may use a password, it may use a biometrics or any other techniques also for this. Next is your firewalls. Firewalls means it is a piece of hardware or it may be a software which is going to work in a network to protect the data and the resources from the outsiders. Usually this firewall will be at the entry point or the exit point. That is, if you are entering, before entering you are checked, before exiting you are checked. So entry and exit point. This controls the traffic, flow of traffic, that is a flow of data between the different areas. So it provides a controlled connectivity between different levels. And next you have your cookies. Cookies means they are small files which are stored on a user's computer. They hold a lookup table like first name, last name will be similar to that. It will be storing. Once the cookie has been read by the code, then the data can be got back and used to customize the web page. Writing this data cookie is done when the new web page is loaded. For example, once you submit, then it will store the values in the cookie. Hackers and crackers means hacker is a clever, he's a programmer. Again, hacker, cracker is, they are nothing but programmers. They try to break the computer's security. When hacker means who attempts to crack the computer using the knowledge, programming knowledge that they have, and to act or to take revenge, like taking revenge. They want to create problems. So they are also a programmer. It is nothing different. If you are using your knowledge to harm any person, to give some problem to a person, to develop some problems to a person, then you will be known as a hacker. And again, the computer security experts, again, they are also hackers, are also experts. We call it as white hats. We call the crackers as white hats. That is a person who is knowledgeable in the computer programming, and who is using his knowledge to help the organization is known as a cracker. That is, they know, they have the every knowledge. If you are using that knowledge to harm any other person, you are a hacker. If you are using it to protect a person or protect an organization, then you are known as a cracker. And again, we have cyber laws also everywhere. So where it is the electronic documents are recognized, and e-commerce transactions, everything has to follow certain rules and regulations. So we have your IT Act of the government also, that is a Information Technology Act, where you have different sections, like is it recognized, legal documents are recognized, electronic documents are recognized, digital signatures is legally recognized, what are the offenses that can be called as a crime, all those things will be looked after by your IT Act. Now we said we also, one other term that we have to know about is virus. So what is this virus? Virus means it is a similar to your biological virus, but here we are talking about the computer virus. So it is a computer program. It is a software program that will enter the computer system without the knowledge of the user, because purposely nobody asks the virus to enter. Now purposely we are not going to say that, no, let me get, for example, the rampant disease that you have now at present is corona, right? Now we are not purposely saying, I want this disease, right? I want corona to attack me. No, we are not going to say that. Without our knowledge, it is going to attack us. So without our knowledge. So similarly, a destructive program, a software program that enters into the computer system without the knowledge of the user is known as a virus. So the definition is a software program that enters into a computer without the knowledge of the user is your virus. What are the, how do you find, there are what we call as symptoms now. For example, for the corona, what are the symptoms for corona? We say you may not be able to smell, you may not be able to taste, you have fever, you have cold, cough, right? Those are the known as a symptom. In the same way, what are the symptoms for the computer virus? So symptoms mean, we can say computer may respond, the response may be slow, Okay, it may open slowly, it may close slowly. If you're clicking anything to open to make some changes, it's very slow. And the drives becomes inaccessible. You are not uh, able to open the drives, and then you cannot work. Applications will not be executed. It may not connect to the internet. Files may be missing, may be replaced. All those are the symptoms of your virus. So what are the different types of viruses? Viruses, normally you have your harmful virus and harmless virus. Harmless and harmful virus. So let us just talk about harmless. As with the name suggests, it doesn't affect cause serious damage, whereas harmful virus causes a serious damage. So what are some of the harmful virus? One is your boot sector virus. Boot sector virus means the system files, whatever is necessary for booting, it affects these files. These files will be stored in the operating system. So it affects the master boot record, and they change the pointer so that you cannot even start the system. The system cannot be booted. You cannot start the computer. Cannot start the computer. So it is going to harms the system files. That is your boot sector virus. And again you have your file virus. File virus means the exe files, the executable files, what we call it as, which is necessary for the working of the application. So it will affect the executable files. And such files you cannot work on such files, because whatever is necessary to run the program itself is not there, then it is a problem. So it affects your executable files. And you have your macro virus. Macro virus means you are going to store the data in the system. So what happens here is, when you are using some applications such as your word processor, spreadsheet, presentation, etc., right? So this will affect such documents which you are using and storing. It may be a Word document, Excel document, whatever it is going to affect those files. And you have your network virus. Network virus means it is going to come to your computer whenever you are accessing some records through internet. It may be a mail also. So these are some of the viruses that you have. Now, how are you going to protect your computer from the viruses? You have to install the antivirus software. Normally prevention is install the antivirus software, and you have to keep on updating it. You have to scan and confirm that there are no viruses before you use any external devices like your pen drives, smart cards, whatever you have. You have to check, scan, and then use. And you have to download. If you are downloading anything from the internet, you have to scan and then download. Use only the authorized or the licensed software. Don't go for download anything which is not licensed. All those things has to be done. So antivirus software are designed to fix the problem, that is remove the viruses, to recover the data, and it provides overall security to data and applications. There are many antiviruses like your Quickkill, McAfee, Norton, Kaspersky, AVG, right, etc. So all these are the different types of softwares that antivirus software that you have. So be careful while downloading, and also while before using any adding or connecting any external devices, scan the devices and then use. So this is about the antivirus and also the end of your networking concepts. I keep on repeating, please submit the assignments in time. Thank you.